Do you remember our little line, when the wind blows from the west, the fish? You remember that? Y'all remember that? None of you, some of you hadn't heard it? Well, we're going to check that out today. Whoa! That's a beauty. Good morning, guys and girls. April 17. April 17. I'm telling you. April is just such a fantastic month. I've been so excited every day. I just can't wait to get up in the morning. And we're having longer days. Daylight savings time. It doesn't get dark until 8:30 or so. We're fishing till dark. We're just having a blast. You know, I mean, this incredible month to be alive. Incredible month to be alive. When we see God has changed the brown, the gray, the dull, the dirty, the dead to a beautiful green all over. It's just amazing. And He does it every year. He does it every year. I've seen more of these springs than most of you. But I'm telling you, I get excited about every single one. And the fishing is really, really good. We're looking at Acts 2:4. Acts 2:4. 2 before. Kind of hit you upside the head, get your attention. Acts 2:4. They were all filled with the Holy Spirit. They were all filled with the Holy Spirit. Now, they call this the day of Pentecost, when Peter and the group were meeting, and God came down and filled them all with the Holy Spirit. They went out and started preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. The amazing thing was they preached that gospel in everybody's language. They were all of a sudden speaking 15 or 20 different languages. Some of them were speaking one language, some of them others. They were telling about the gospel of Jesus and why Jesus died on that cross and why He was raised. They were hearing them in their own language. I'm sure they were talking their own language, but it was like through some kind of supernatural godly computer translated into the language of whomever was listening to it. They were all filled with the Holy Spirit. This Holy Spirit is a mystery to some people, but it is something you receive the instant you get saved. Have you ever noticed how some bass seem to put up more of a fight than others? Some of them just, have you ever had strikes that nearly jerk the rod out of your hand, while others are so subtle you can hardly even feel them? One of the reasons for these differences is that bass all seem to have different personalities. They do. We see this all the time in our large fish tank at our retail store. God has even created each bass a little differently. Isn't that something? You think about that for a second. God not only created all of us different, and you know, our DNA, a lot of talk about DNA, and they're talking about the shots changing your DNA. Here, God created this DNA, they ain't changing it. But you know, our DNA is distinct. Of the billions of people that are alive right now, the billions of people that lived, our DNA is distinct. When we're saved and place our complete trust in Jesus, God places His Holy Spirit in us. God gives us His Holy Spirit. He puts it right here in our heart, puts it right here in our mind. This Spirit of God, that's what a Holy Spirit is the Spirit of God Himself, the Spirit of the God that hung the moon and stars, the Spirit of the God that walked on water, the Spirit of the God that made blind people see, made lame people walk, the Spirit of the God that did amazing, amazing things. This Spirit of God, which He puts right in us, noticeably changes. When you get saved, noticeably changes the way we act. It noticeably changes the way we talk. It noticeably changes the way we see others. And it even changes the way that we think. Our thought process becomes totally different. Why? Why? Because we have God's Spirit right here inside of us. All this is for the better, and all this is for our good. When we get saved, God places His Spirit in you and in me to help you and me. God's own Spirit, His own Spirit, living in each of us individually. Wow. Wow. How great is that? How great is that? How much love does God have that He can put His Spirit inside of it? How much mercy, how much grace. He wants to lead us in everything we do so that we don't make those bad decisions that get us into trouble, cost us money, cost us heartache, sometimes can even cost us our life. He wants His Spirit to guide us in everything that we do, causing us to make the right decisions, to be in the right places, the right times, hanging out with the right people. And then He steps in and through that Spirit supernaturally changes situations all around us to help us succeed in everything that we're trying to succeed in. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing process of God putting His Holy Spirit individually in each one of us. We don't divide it out amongst other Christians. We got it all right here. We don't have a little bit of God's Spirit. We have it all right here. Here's our tip for this week. Here's our little poem. When the wind is from the west, the fish bite the best. When the wind's from the west, the fish bite the best. Y'all remember the rest of that? You remember? When the wind's from the east, the fish bite the least. When when the wind's from the south, it blows the bait in the fish's mouth. And when the wind is from the north, a fisherman should not venture forth. And here's one last question for you mind readers. This is for you mind readers only. Here's one question. Got it? Guys and girls, I'm going fishing. Go out there and have you a great one today. Subscribe to the Catch of the Day. If you're watching this video right here, be sure to subscribe to Catch of the Day. Subscribe to Jimmy Houston Outdoors. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button right there. Have a great week out there. Kiss a bunch of them for me. And remember, I love you.